Hello everybody, February 25th, 2023. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. And on Monday I said that as long as Bitcoin remains above 23.3, we should be heading up here to this 26.2 to 26.8 area. However, if it's sustained below 23.3 before getting there, then we're probably going down to low 20s or sub 20. So, the criticism that I always get is, oh, your prediction didn't come true. Okay, yeah, my prediction of 26.6 did not come true, or 26.2 to 26.8 did not come true. However, this was my backup scenario. 23.3 is the line in the sand. And I wasn't longing up in this high area. I longed at 21.7, right? There it is, 21.753. I exited today when we broke 23.3 for about 135% profit, give or take. Okay, that was Bitcoin. I also had an Ether long from way further down. Here you go, 166% profit. Entered at 1467, exited at 1601. Right, I had. Let's see what else. I had a BNB long. I had an OP long. OP was excellent, 287%. Entered at 219, exited today at 307. So again, yeah, my prediction that 26K, that did not come true. Okay, but that's also not really an issue. I wasn't longing here, hoping to get up to 26. I even said to members, don't long. I'm not looking to open anything during this chop. This is awful. I entered down here, and I was holding on to the position to see if I could get up there. But as we broke below 23.3, I just took the profits instead. Right? So I'm still in profit. This is still a gain up to this level. So it doesn't really matter to me that the prediction didn't come true of 26K. Because the price action is dictating my trades and what I do, and I stopped out in profit today, which I'm happy about. So that being said, moving forward, right now I'm not going to say I'm not in any trades, but I am flat, and I did open up some shorts today as well. Just for fun. I'm not opening like huge shorts right now because the action is still very choppy. I'll go over some of that. So as of right now, we have still, honestly, a couple of different possibilities. I don't know which one of these is going to win out, actually. All of these, I'm going to list like 3 that I see as quite possible, and I don't know which is going to be the winner at this point. It was looking like orange was going to be the winner previously, but we've kind of killed that with the action today. So anyway, blue is still possible. This may be 5 waves up here, right there. I'm not super happy with it because this 4th wave is so shallow, but it's a possibility. And so if that is the case, what we're doing now is an ABC correction in an expanding flat. And so it would look like this. And I did still have this on here because of that. I knew it was a possibility that we might top out in a B wave and then head down lower in a C wave. This blue box is the target for that scenario. So if that is correct, we would see move down into this blue box, basically 20.4 down to 18.2, give or take, and that is very possible. Another option is that we have 1, 2, 3 as an orange, but 4 didn't end here, and we're doing an expanded flat for 4, A, B, C. You can see how similar those scenarios are. However, what I would expect is that we would come back down into this orange box, probably just nominally break that low, come down maybe to the bottom of this box, sort of 21 to 21 and a half-ish area, and finish off that 4th wave in the orange box, and then we would actually go up to that 26 to 28K area, right? So I am going to leave this on as a possibility. We're just basically moving, well, we're going to get rid of that. We're basically moving this fourth wave over to here, like that, and saying that this is A, that's B, and this is C down for wave 4. So if we find support here and then move up, that is then my primary scenario. But I'm going to let the price action dictate what I do, right? At this point in time, I don't plan on just blindly longing here. I'm going to wait and see what the action looks like as we proceed downwards, and kind of go from there. All right. Another scenario, of course, is that this could still push upwards. It's not doing so in an impulse at all, but it is a possibility that somehow we get maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could get an ending diagonal, meaning 4 actually did end back here, and we're going up in a very, very choppy way. So that's a possibility. And then finally, it is unfortunately quite possible, because of how unclear and choppy this action has been, it is possible that we are actually going to see 5 waves down, breaking through those levels that should hold if we're in a blue second wave, and potentially leading us back down to my original target of 12 to 14. Right, so we'd see like a first wave down here, and then a bounce, and then we'd see another move down, and then a bounce, and then another move down, right? Possibly making a much more bearish move downwards. That is unfortunately back on the table now because of this. And it remains on the table unless we make 3 waves down here, or 3 waves here and then up to this, and then 3 waves down and hold, right? So basically, we can expect chop or bearishness. That is the reason that I stopped out of all my positions at 23.3. I am not looking to jump into anything right now because of that, because this action tells me chop or bearishness. In either one of those scenarios, I do not want to be trying to trade unless a setup presents itself, right? You know, a short-term setup might present itself, and I might take some scalps, but I'm certainly not wanting to hold on to anything during chop or straight bearishness. So let's zoom in just to the most recent action. From this high down to here, I can't say with certainty that that's 5 waves down. It's possible it's a leading diagonal, right? So that kind of works against the very bearish scenario a little bit, because it's not impulsive. I would expect an impulse down if we were going to get the super bearish scenario down to 12 to 14. But it's still a possibility. It's still something we need to be aware of. So what we're going to do is assume, just for a minute, this is a wave 1, and that's a wave 2. And that's what I've got drawn here. If this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 in the C wave of 4, most likely this is what this is pointing to, we would then expect a 1 and a 2, which we kind of had right here with the second wave made a pennant, right? We've got a little pennant right there. So here's our 1 and our 2, which pretty much went 618 to 382 basically, which is good for an impulse move downwards. And the only thing working against this scenario right now is that we stopped at exactly the 1-0. And at the 1-0, if we bounced from here, this would then look like an ABC. And so that's why I still have on, as a possibility, the possibility that we could get that diagonal upwards. If we bounce here and move up to new highs, then that's just an ABC and we're moving up. But again, not worth it to try to trade, because it looks more like it wants to continue downwards. The next stop for this should be about the 1, 2, 3, 6. It doesn't need to be, but we'll likely go there and then see some bouncing still. You know, we might just kind of chop in this area for a bit. Next major area is the 1618 at about 22K. From there, another bounce. So again, you know, we're kind of bouncing around in this area for quite some time before a final move down. If this is in fact just this orange scenario for resetting, it is projecting currently to about 21.4, which is right around where this ended previously. Personally, since we broke above this high, I'm kind of expecting that we break below that low, so we may get a little bit under that, you know, maybe more like 21K would be more ideal. But let's see how the action proceeds. This is just a possible path that it might be taking downwards. So I'm going to change this to orange because it's part of that orange scenario, probably. Get rid of that. So 5 waves down to about 21K. Could very well be ABC in orange, ABC in blue would just see extensions basically. So if this goes 1, 2, and then instead of 3 going here, it continues to drop and we get 3, 4, 5, then I move into blue scenario instead, and I'll change these numbers to blue because that would be blue C. And just for a little bit of clarity, you know what, I'm not even going to put a new one on, hang on. Let me just go like this. We're going to go A, B, and C to here. Okay, so basically it's just the length of this wave that's going to tell us whether we're in blue or orange, which should tell us, you know, what happens next, basically. And then the bounce from wherever this goes, however these waves play out to the downside, which I'm leaning towards the downside rather than going up here still. So assuming we see more downside, once we get either here or here, the bounce that happens is going to tell us even more, right? If we get 3 waves and then reject, 3 waves and then reject in either one of those scenarios, then the more bearish scenario comes roaring to the forefront. If instead we find support here or here, and then we get a 5-wave move up in either one of those, that would lean more in favor of continuing upwards bullishly. So again, right now, very choppy. I am not looking to hold on to anything, and I need to continue watching this action to see what my next move should be. And no matter what it does, there's going to be an opportunity to make money on it. So it doesn't really matter to me what it does. I'm back in cash again, as I said, in some shorts, and that's about it. All right, I think that sums it up. We'll see what the weekend brings. Weekends are always interesting with low liquidity, so see what the weekend brings and how we open up next week, and I will touch base with you all again on Monday.